Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. It is a very cold Thursday afternoon here in South Africa. We are still having load shedding in this country, which means controlled outages of our power grid, staged outages according to a schedule. We don't all go off together. We've been off where I live already this morning for 2.5 hours, and we're about to go off in the next few minutes for another 4.5 hours this evening, just in time to cook dinner and watch TV and all the things that people normally do. And it is rather difficult, and especially when it is cold and dark. We're in the middle of winter, rather unpleasant. I know there are people having worse things happen in their lives at the moment, but these are the circumstances that I am in. I took myself off for some dancing this afternoon just to shake the energy up and improve the energy, because it really feels very bad at the moment, very negative. There's a lot of trouble in the world, and a lot of people are in trouble. In our little group that met this afternoon, lots of sad stories, lots of shocking things happening to people, and it does feel as if we are being pressed through the meat grinder. Humanity being squeezed through the meat grinder at the moment. If you are having trouble, my thoughts are with you. And I hope that everything resolves itself, just as I hope for all of us everything resolves itself soon enough. 5-card reading, and I haven't even shown you the cards I'm using. These are new cards on this channel. The Knights Templar Tarot. And I bought this deck for another reading, a very specific reading that I'm going to do in future, but just seemed appropriate for this reading. And I'm going to shuffle them a bit more. Appropriate for this reading because I'm reading today on Harry's relationship with Sir Edward Young. Sir Edward Young is the Queen's private secretary, and he is the man in Harry's crosshairs at the moment in this judicial review, that Harry is trying to bring about the security decision that was taken by a special committee, government committee, to strip him and Meghan of their police protection, their royal police officers, their RPOs removed when they decided to leave the royal family and go out on their own, strike out on their own, had to hire their own security people. Now it seems that Harry is very angry about the fact that Sir Edward Young was involved allegedly in the decision-making process, because Sir Edward Young is somebody that does not see eye to eye with Harry. Allegedly there are significant tensions between the two men. And so Harry claims in his papers that the decision was not fully independent, and that is a ground for review. Not a reading on the court case itself, the review proceedings. I have done a reading reasonably recently on that, and it didn't look like it was going to go well for Prince Harry. Cards want me to shuffle again, and I think it's because they are new. And they're just saying, we're not quite ready. We're not quite used to your energy. We've been traveling, a bit jet lagged, and give us a chance to recover and get their energy, get juicy. There we are. Now they're flying all over the place. Okay, they feel better now. And cards too have their good days and their bad days, just by the way. So let's start again. We'll cut the deck for the third time. 5-card reading. I'm going to look at the relationship between Harry and Sir Edward Young from, first of all, Harry's viewpoint, then Sir Edward Young's viewpoint. What is the root of this resentment allegedly between the two men? I wonder what it could possibly be. And the outcome for Prince Harry of this falling out, because seemingly there is suspicion in falling out. The Queen's private secretary, he's the man who replaced Lord Guyte. Lord Guyte's the one everybody thinks had Harry under control, under supervision. Everybody hoped that Lord Guyte would suddenly swoop in miraculously and save the royal family from Meghan Markle. That was the rumour, that was the expectation and the hope years ago. Of course, it did not come to pass. And a very interesting card has now come out at the bottom of this deck, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the royal family, is the status quo, is the order of things, is things being done the right way. Harry is claiming that things were not done the right way, procedures were not followed, it was not fair, it was not independent, whatever else he is claiming in his skeleton arguments. But the universe is telling me that things were followed, due process was observed, if that is the right word. And Hierophant is authority and lessons and learning and taking the high road, doing things in a way of integrity. And so I don't think that there is any question about Sir Edward Young's integrity in this reading at all. And so good luck, Prince Harry. But that's very interesting underlying energy. Let's see the heart of the matter right now. Harry and Sir Edward Young. Ace of Swords in reverse. This is Harry's idea that things have not been truthful and honest and straight down the line. The Ace of Swords, when it's upright, is about truth, clarity, wisdom, energy that is very directed and focused in a new trajectory. And it's in the reverse, and when the Ace of Swords is in reverse, you're getting untruths, you're getting deception, you're getting confusion, things that are not done properly, things that are not wise. That is what Harry is claiming. It has a bit of a justice energy, the Ace of Swords, for me as a reader. And when the Ace of Swords is in reverse, injustice. Harry is claiming this was not fair. And gimme back my RPOs so that I can take them to Vegas and play naked billiards again with all those hot blonde girls in Vegas. A little bit of sarcasm. Let's point you to the disclaimer in the box below. This is just a tarot reading for entertainment purposes, just my personal opinion, and please do your own research and form your own opinion. So how does Harry feel about Sir Edward Young? Harry's point of view. How does he feel about him? Queen of Wands. Well, this is the card that I was expecting to come out a little bit later in the reading. The Queen of Wands is the Meghan Markle card. Of course, the fire sign woman, but it's in reverse. This is about Meghan Markle. This is about his disdain, possibly. And this is my personal opinion. Possibly, I'm speculating, Sir Edward Young's disdain for Meghan Markle. I would say that Sir Edward Young and Harry fell out over Meghan Markle. Perhaps her behavior, the Queen of Wands, is very dramatic. She's very fiery. She's very energized. And in the reverse, she is very bad-tempered, melodramatic, throws things, storms out, causes dramas, causes scenes, very, very difficult to deal with. And I would say that Sir Edward Young didn't appreciate having that kind of drama in the royal household and expressed that opinion, and hence the falling out. So there is already a third party in this reading. How does Sir Edward Young feel about Harry? Four of Wands in reverse. Card that's coming up a lot at the moment, and something I need to read on. Harkle marriage. There they are, the two of them, Harry and Meghan. At their home, their cozy home. When the card is upright, Four of Wands, it's happy home, celebration, a unified front, a foundation that is solid. When it's in the reverse, it's a breakup. And he obviously sees that Prince Harry destabilized the royal family. Shook them to their foundations with that Four of Wands in the reverse. So several energies coming through for me as a reader. Four of Wands in the reverse. First of all, Sir Edward Young probably looks at Harry and Meghan and thinks, here comes a divorce, more trouble for the royal family. For me as the Queen's private secretary, this is going to be tricky to navigate, and the dog is shouting in the distance his agreement. He's hanging around in the kitchen where food is quickly being cooked before our lights go out and electricity goes off. And so a distant call from the dog of agreement. But the Four of Wands also is the royal family. It's one of the royal family cards. We've got another one here, the Hierophant, as the underlying energy. And the Four of Wands in reverse tells us that he sees Harry and Meghan, because there she is again. She's popped up twice now in this reading. There she is once, there she is twice, as really causing trouble for the royal family, for the Queen, for him. So difficult pair to deal with. Tricky couple to deal with. Clearly, no love lost, but the situation is because of Megan, dogs approaching to shout even louder. So let's have a look. What was the root cause of this resentment? Why did the two men actually fall out? We've already had a very clear answer from the universe, but what else does universe and possibly the dog want to tell us about falling out? 10 of Wands in reverse. It's a very ugly card. The 10 of Wands was that knight being dragged along by the horse. 10 of Wands is about struggle, burdens, being overburdened, being exhausted, worn out, staggering along helplessly, nobody to save you, and you are struggling along. But when the card is in the reverse, you kind of let go and you give up. And it's the letting go and giving up that has caused the resentment. And the letting go and the giving up would be, of course, Megxit. Would be, this is all too terrible, we can't deal with it, it's so horrible being a working member of the royal family. We can't go away on spa breaks whenever we feel like it and fly in private jets to stay with Elton John whenever we feel like it and help ourselves to tiaras whenever we feel like it and merch whenever we feel like it. Is so unfair, it's so awful, it's such a burden, I feel suicidal, and now I have to leave and go and live in a Russian oligarch's vast mansion in California and Canada first, and then Tyler Perry's equally vast mansion in California. So that giving up energy, he doesn't approve of it. Knights Templar would not approve of giving up so easily and leaving, abandoning their post, abandoning their duty, sworn an oath of loyalty, and now giving up and walking away. That is what it's about. But there is the root cause of the giving up and walking away. She is here in the reading too. Let us see how this all has led to where we are now, the consequences of this falling out, this resentment. For Prince Harry in particular, what is the outcome of this failed relationship? Yet another giving up card. Harry feels vulnerable. This is literally a card of security. The 9 of Wands, you can see that stockade around the man. Fighting, he's on his last legs, he's mortally wounded, he's clutching his chest, he's leaking blood, but he's still standing in this very dramatic version of the 9 of Wands, and he's got his support behind him, his barricade, his barriers around him, his defenses around him. But the card is in the reverse. Harry feels vulnerable and exposed. He has lost, okay dog, very loud, very chatty. Harry has lost his security, has lost his RPOs. He feels that this is a direct consequence of this failed relationship, this falling out, is that there was some sort of vendetta, bias, you could say prejudice involved in this decision, and that it wasn't a decision that was taken fairly and honestly. It was taken from this place of spite and mean-spiritedness, and oh well, I'll strip them of their RPOs, I'll influence everyone else on the committee and rob them of their deserved security and leave them vulnerable and exposed to all kinds of outrages whenever they are in the United Kingdom. Never mind that they both wound their windows down of their heavily armoured vehicles that they were in on their way to the Trooping the Colour. And as the body language guy said, any number of tomatoes could have fitted through those windows. And on that rather snarky note, I will leave you for now and try and get another reading in quickly before lights out here tonight in South Africa.